Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Stevie version of Riverbend Springs. We've made it all the way into spring, so spring has sprung here on the map. It is April, and as such, well, it is spring planting and seeding season. We're putting soybeans in a couple fields. We're going to put in a field of oats, and I completely forgot about that field of potatoes that I bought last year, and it's now withered. So we have to replace that field with potatoes. So it looks like we're getting into potato planting as well tonight. We're also going to talk about how we resurrected our grass fields. We killed them by literally rolling them. I know it's been talked about in the past that don't roll your grass because it won't regrow afterwards. We were able to reproduce that issue, and we're also able to, well, roll a field without having that problem happen. So we're going to talk about how you may prevent that from happening and how you can correct the issue once it does happen until Giants fixes the issue. I did put in a bug report earlier today with our information as far as what we have learned, both in testing here on the game save last night and today, as well as from a good friend of the channel, Chad Bergman, who helped kind of put us on the avenue for fixing the issue. I don't know how many folks had stumbled upon that already or not, but he had given us a great solution that we were able to replicate on these two grass fields right behind us, and they are now in a growing state, so they have been completely resurrected from the dead, if you will. Scooter's Workbench, Happy New Year to you as well. Simper, Happy New Year. Jonathan, V, Waylon, everybody else in chat, Happy New Year to you. Hope you have a good 2025. Hope 2024 was fruitful as well. And if not, well, at least we can put that year behind us now and look towards the future. I go back to work tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it one stinking bit. But you know what? We need to work because we need to have a nice steady income in order to be able to afford ourselves these nice little toys and to be able to stream with you guys, because, well, I wouldn't be able to do this full time because we don't make enough dollars and cents from the YouTube. So we do need a normal job just like everyone else in order to make ends meet, especially in these crazy economic times. Let's fold this bad boy up and make our way across the street. We've also got a whole lot of cinder blocks to sell. We've been pumping out cinder blocks all winter long. We have a few pallets of goat's milk. In fact, we'll probably hire a helper on this field over here so we can go do other things. And speaking of giving thanks, this video is brought to you by Mark Bauer and Alan McCone. Thank you for being farm barons. Alright, while you are running, let's run down here to our cement factory. See if we need to help this belt load up the stone. We'll see how many pallets of cement block we got. Yeah, it's doing good. All right. Let's go over here and talk about our grass. Cookie Wreckfest is in 2 days. 2 days. I was just thinking, Jonathan, like, what if this stuff, like, if you moved it, like, what if it, like, busts apart or whatever? Oh, right. So, this grass field shows down at the bottom, growing, 100%, 97% yield bonus. This one, as of last night, was broken. This one also is growing, 97%, 100% yield bonus. And let's jump over to this grass field over here, which wasn't broken, and it is ready to harvest. So it's the other two fields are behind this one because it got broken. So let's talk about what we did. Field 10. I mowed the field, but I didn't have enough time after collecting all of my grass to roll it, so I slept through the night and rolled it the next day. It didn't break. Fields 4 and 3. We mowed it, collected the grass, and rolled it all in the same day. These two fields broke. What I am surmising from that little experiment is rolling grass on the same month or the same day that you cut it on may be breaking your fields. So, one way to prevent your fields from breaking is to simply advance 1 day, 1 month, whatever, sleep, and then roll your grass, and you shouldn't have any issue. I've never been able to reproduce this problem up until last night. And that was because we deliberately wanted to make sure we cut these two fields and rolled them in the same day. So, that seems to be a correlation. Now, how do you fix it? Well, once we had this happen, we went here to our growth and this whole growing thing, right? Well, there was no indicator. It would basically, the fields looked like this. There was no indication that there was any growing going on for these two fields. All right, so we went and picked up a mulcher, just a regular old mulcher. In fact, we used this one just because it was going to get the job done faster. But we just used any old random mulcher and ran it over the field, and it brought the field back to a harvested state, which is better than being in no state whatsoever. So that is going to be my suggestion, is if you have broken fields, you can fix them by moving them, by mulching them. And if you want to prevent the grass field from breaking in the first place, well, then you can just sleep through the night and then roll it. And then it should be fine. Bottled goat milk down at the restaurant. Yes. Show me the restaurant. Travis, what's up? I'd like to hear your all's thoughts, and if you've been able to replicate that, if you knew about the mulching trick or not. If that information isn't overly well known, then maybe I'll work on putting a video out tomorrow on it. Or not putting a video out tomorrow, making a video tomorrow night. Because I'm going back to work. I can't make a video tomorrow and put it out tomorrow. I gotta make a video tomorrow night and hopefully post it tomorrow night. Well, Chris, it might take a long time, but it's also free. Technically, I guess, not free, but it's cheaper because you don't have to pay for the fertilizer. But if you don't have to worry about paying for your fertilizer, like if you're not worried about fertilization costs, should have took the ferry back there at the town, but oh well. We'll cross the bridge. Get to it that way. Well, the manure pit is supposedly fixed. Just the update's not pushed yet. So I submitted a bug report about the manure problem on November 17th, where manure wouldn't spawn, or it would spawn, but then the manure heap would get disconnected, and as such you wouldn't get any more until you put another one down. On December 17th, they updated that bug report saying that it was resolved in a future update. So at that point, all I can say is I would assume the next patch that ships should have that fix in it. When is that next patch shipping? No idea. But all I can say is, if you know there's a problem and you haven't reported it using their bug tracker, then by all means, please report it, because no unreported bug ever gets fixed. And you can't assume that someone else is going to have reported something. And even if you know that they have reported something, it's very possible, thank you for the sub, Michael, it's very possible that the little bit of information that you might add that no one else has provided could put them on the path for a resolution. That's why I put in my bug report for the grass. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that have put in a bug report that have said, I mowed my grass and then I rolled it and then the grass doesn't grow back. But it may be that no one has submitted information that, hey, this only happens if you don't sleep between mowing and rolling it. Because if you sleep between mowing and rolling it, it's fine. Or maybe no one's reported that, hey, if you mulch the field, then it will bring it back, but it'll be in a harvested state. So maybe that little bit of extra information can put them down a path of, oh, I think I know where to look now in order to see what the problem is. Alright, where are we at? Crazy Leo, the farmer. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for a sub. As someone who's been in supporting users in technology for the last 30 years, I can tell you what. Often the hardest part of the job is trying to decipher what the user has put in as a problem, because usually what the users put in as a problem isn't really the problem. There's something else that's going on. I have no idea what junk is on field 55. If you got stumps, I would say use a stump grinder. I don't know, but if there's junk on field 55 and you think it's in error, then report it. That way they can fix it in a future update. I don't even know where 55 is. And well, we're not on a base map anymore, so I can't even look, because these field numbers are completely different than the old ones. There's a 58, 54, 55 is well, it's a little dirt plot. Here we go. It's a well, an interesting little plot of land. 55 is. All right, is that all my blocks? It's all my blocks. Grain elevator museum. Yeah, right. You're not gonna take all my stuff. You probably haven't even taken the stuff I dropped over there last spring. Nope, you haven't. It's still sitting there. Complete wasting of resources. Cement brick. Oh, Nelly. We'll go to the warehouse. After we go pick up those other blocks we left over there. Alright, let's pull up the map and figure out how best recourse to get over there. Okay. Get over here and take the main drag over to town. And then hang a left at the warehouse, I think. Snowman, what's up? Happy New Year to you as well. All right, let's go. Where is Field 55? On the base map. We want to turn here. Yep, turn left at the warehouse. And then turn right after we go over the second bridge. No. No. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Turn here. All right. There we go. Now we go back to the warehouse. Davey, never assume anything. I don't know until I see the map. I only play maps that I feel like playing on. And I won't know if I feel like playing on it until I get to experience it for myself. But I'm not someone that'll play a map just because I think it will be popular. Because if I'm not enjoying myself on a map, then it's just going through the paces. And I'll be bored, which means you'll be bored. So I'm not saying no, just saying I won't know until I do my map tour. There we go, a nice little bonus. And I mean, and to that end, I tend to be anti-establishment. Like, if something's super popular, then I will almost guaranteed not want to do it because I don't want to just be lumped together with, oh, he's doing it because everyone else is. So I don't know. I like to do my own thing, and if doing my own thing means playing maps I like, that's fine. And if I like it, I'll play it. Alright, we'll park this bad boy here along the back of this building. Let's go ahead and mix up a load of TMR while we wait on our seeder. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I don't use John Deere tractors, is because everyone was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with them in when they came out in FS19, to the point where I was like, no, I'm not using them because people are just being stupid. Alright, I think this is 35,000 liters, so half of 35,000 is 17. 17. Well, that's good enough. Man, where's the fill level limiter mod? That would be awesome right now. There we go. Mixed rations. Well, I mean, if you already like John Deere, that's fine. Play what you want to play with. Well, at least, Stevie, there's so many different ways to play that, in theory, hopefully, even if a bunch of creators are playing on the same map, they're all playing the same map differently. Yep, TMR. The TMR production needs straw, of which I don't have any. So I can't just pump in silage and grass into the TMR mixer to get mixed rations because I don't have any straw. So we make it the old-fashioned way for now. And then once we have some straw, we can do it the easy way. And we'll have straw once our wheat and oats come to harvest. Well, a lot of times you pay for a brand name. More than anything else. We'll park this here beside our cedar so we can grab the cedar. And we still need to plant potatoes. Which means we need to do the field work on those potatoes. So let's go get that going on. I tell you, this thing is cool. This Dalbo Diamond Disc Harrow. Oh, really? The infatuation for John Deere is over? The desire for maybe a more cost-effective tractor is overwhelming, or is winning. This will do the job. Not this intersection, but the next. Happy New Year, Skinny! Happy New Year! I mean, I figure by the time that map comes out, there will probably be 5 or 6 other maps out. So there should be some decent variety. Well, this won't take long. It is annoying that we forgot this field. What else does this need? This doesn't need anything. So I'll have to buy a potato planter. I'll be eager to see the first map that implements like construction missions and things like that that are unique, not just plopping in a you know, playground or something like that. Alright, this is now done. Well, you know what? There's a fish hatchery on Riverbend Springs. That's just a giant deco area at this point. But it would be interesting if that was something that was a update. Or some sort of DLC. I don't know. I have no idea what Lizard Forage pickup is. Well, so here's the thing. Game developers, they get a big payday when they release a game. And then they hope to have fairly steady game sales throughout the life of the game to maintain some amount of income, right? But they're not like a regular company that has fairly regular income. So the use of DLC helps generate some residual income between major game releases. And that's why you don't have, well, let's talk about EA Sports. It's in the game. No, it's not. It's basically this version of the game is just got, new textures for the players' uniforms and reflects last year's roster. And then next year's version of the same game is basically just going to be an update with the roster and uniforms and maybe team names if teams changed cities or whatever. But each year, right, they don't release a whole new game. It's DLC update, but you're paying a full game price for it. Well, in order to not have to release the game or games with a much more frequent basis, then DLC helps bridge that gap. And we know we have 3 DLCs and an expansion coming in year 1. We can probably expect to see something similar to what we saw in 22 with the same type of DLCs and expansion in year 2, and then hopefully a new version toward the end of year 3. So think about running a company where you have to earn enough business in, let's say, the first half of year one in order to sustain your operations for 2.5 more years. So you have to have salaries for all your employees for 2.5 more years. You've got to have all of your payments for your building rentals, your leases, whatever. All of your operating expenses. Or you release a steady stream of DLC to provide you a little bit of relief to that. Financial burden. The Mac Dawn was shite. Well, I mean, if you don't want to use it, it's fine, but you can't really discount the fact that in most instances you get 25% more bonus crop as a result of using it. It's a realistic way people harvest. Why is that not working? It is working. Okay. All right, folks, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just roll with it. We'll just roll with it. You don't turn it on. You drop it down and you run it. It's on through friction. This is a Fent, I think 900. 942. The mower is slow. It's the fastest mower. It's the same speed as every other mower. So if you claim it's slow, then every other mower is that same slowness. I can't comment on the AI's ability to drive around the roads because I always just drive it myself. But it's the same speed as every other mower. So 14 miles an hour. The swather is 9 miles an hour. So that's faster than your harvester header. Your harvester headers are 6. So that's 3 mile an hour bonus. As far as your mowers go, all the mowers in game are 13 miles an hour. So it's 2 miles an hour faster than every other mower. So your argument is it's shite because it's just you can do a job faster with a different piece of machinery. That's fine. That's fine. So that's how you want to play. No, they mound very much. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea what's going on with this, other than the fact that it's not cultivated, it's stubble tillage, and that's what's messing it up. Typically, it's ridging. Or it should be ridging. If you watch my potato video, you'll see that it very much does ridge. Again, I think it's because this is stubble tillage. Well, that's okay. It's all fine and dandy. Yeah, it jumped out at me too when I started it and it didn't ridge. I was like, what's going on? Now we'll see how close I guessed on if we have 2 pallets or not of potatoes. Happy New Year to you, Professor Logic, as well. Alright, that's done. I gotta get over here with our seeder. Oh, it might be short. I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that Giants releases Silver Run Forest myself. Not that I plan on playing on it, but I would like to see Silver Run Forest get released, which would then mean that the roller coaster mechanic is available for mappers, and then also the shipbuilding. And then it's just yet another mod map with, well, we were short. All right. Let's see if that finishes us up. Oh yeah, that does it. Alright, so other than needing to be weeded, this is good. Let's catch the ferry. We'll drop this off at the shop. We get our oats seeded. Oh, yeah, the fog is thick down here today. Let's go. Let's hope there's no ferry crossing or no barge coming along. Dude, turn on your lights. We're a hazard in navigation. Yeah. Schultz's, all of Schultz's mods are still pending testing. Which is a great frustration for him. Because before Giants left, they supposedly had worked their way up to everything that was submitted before December 1st. But all of his stuff, including the feedlot pack, was submitted like the last week of November, but it was still saying pending testing. So what does that mean? Well, that means that basically when Giants gets back, they're more than a month behind with respect to what has been submitted and waiting testing. He has an itch.io site, but I don't think it's been published up there. John, thank you for the sub. Alrighty. Oats, me oats. Because we didn't mulch. No mulching. No 100%. I mean, yeah, there should be now a steady stream of mods dropping. It's just for those that have put mods in. A lot of frustration with respect to the testing time frame. And, well, one really can't help but feel that not everyone is treated the same. Because you look at how many mods have dropped in the last, well, let's say 2 weeks leading up to the holiday break. And the fact that the Giants editor was really only out for about 3 weeks. Maybe. So, for people who submitted within, let's say, a week of the editor dropping, was there already over 100, 150 mods in the testing list within that first week? Maybe. Maybe everyone like had a boatload of stuff to drop and all they had to do was wait for the editor to slam it in the editor and upload it. Maybe. But it really makes one question if that was or is really the case. Yes, this map is available for download over at Stevie's Google Drive. I did release a map tour on this map. Maybe about, what, right after Christmas? So about a week ago. So you can find that in my playlists. And there will be a link to the link to download the map will be there in that video. Alright, that's a weeder. Right? Let's go weed those taters. Now, I'm using version 1.1 of his map edit. As of, let's say, Monday, there was version 1.3. So, you'll be downloading version 1.3. It's got a few fixes and a few changes from what I'm using. I'm not overly inclined to update at this point. I mean, but that's one of the reasons why we stopped really doing content on Riverview, is because Riverview is pending testing. That's one map that is probably at this point pretty close to being sent to Giants. I haven't heard much from Cavalier Roy in about a week or so. But he's going to be sending that off to Giants for testing soon if he's not already done so. But if they're like a month behind, right, I don't want to keep putting out content on a map that's still a month away from being released. Like, that'll frustrate people to no end. If I update, probably. Because I think he changed some things in 1.2 from 1.1. Mr. Dio, he had some eye surgery. So, I would suspect not seeing the greatest right now. How's this thing weed growing when I just weeded it? We'll just put this over here for now. Alright, I just watched your video, my video on rolling grass, and when I do, it's not in a growing state. Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. Where if you mow the grass and roll it the exact same month, it seems to break or mess up. But if you mow the grass and then sleep and then roll it, that seems to be fine. Or just run a mulcher through the field, and that should set the grass back to a harvested state, so that then you can why are you not working? So then you can get back to having a working grass field. Did you just decide to take off? Fine, I'll do the job myself. So I asked earlier, and I really didn't see any comments that people had heard about the mulching fix. So I guess I'll work on a video tomorrow when I'll talk about that. I think that's worth putting out there. It won't release until like tomorrow this time. I'm glad you enjoy the videos, and I'm glad they are helpful for you. Alright, let's fill this field in. It's going to be the latest version, yes. FS consistency, we're talking about grass rolling in order to get the second state of fertilizer after mowing, not the yield bonus rolling. Because when you are seeding, you're going to be using one of these rollers. on your field. But after you mow the grass, you're going to be using this roller in order to give you the free fertilization state. Brilliant Farms, I have no idea what you're saying. You have visible rows. What? What do you mean visible rows? I have GPS set up and I have show lines. There's only one growth state for grass in 25. If it says ready to harvest, you're going to get the same yield. Although really wouldn't be rolling grass after the first, after you've had the first growth state anyway. This is part of the steering assist, which is a FS25 base feature. So you can have a worker, and it'll do headlands first. You can change the number of headlands they do. Or you can do steering assist, which is what I'm doing. And you can just from the number of headlands, and you can turn lines on and off. And since it's a base game feature, it's now available across all platforms. So this is now a console feature. What's up, Fortnite Drift? How's it going? Happy New Year. Now, effective immediately, our streaming schedule, and I air quote that schedule, because if Giants drops a map on any one given day, I'm going to be working on that as opposed to streaming. But aside from that, our streaming schedule going forward is going to be Monday and Wednesday Farm Sim content here on the main channel. Tuesdays and Thursdays are reserved for recording, if I need to record something, or just general doing my own thing. Weekend streaming will be over on our secondary channel, FK's Funhouse. Explanation point FK Funhouse for a link to that. That's where we put other games that we play online, and leave this channel for Farm Sim content. So Friday night we do a multiplayer Wreckfest server. That's always a fun time. If you were a part of our New Year's live stream last night, you got to see about an hour and a half of that. On Sunday nights, we do a Sunday night convoy with American Truck Simulator. that is also in multiplayer and is something that we've done for a couple years now, very consistently on Sunday nights. We just hang out, chat, and run some loads up and down the American highways and byways. Last Saturday, we started a new multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3 run on Tactician with 3 other folks in the Discord. So we'll be doing that until we make our way through the campaign. So that's going to be on Saturday night. So I really reserve the weekend for non-farm sim content as far as streaming goes. If there's something that has to be recorded in farm sim, then that'll be recorded on the weekend, but okay. I had my lines messed up. Yep, Mike, I know I gotta do the last headland pass. Running outside pass. I don't know why, but for some reason the AI wanted to do the headlands first. So I finished the second pass that it didn't do, and then I'm filling in, and then I'll do the outside one. Well, I mean, it's a big map. I don't know what a normal download is for your internet speed. If that's slow or fast for you or not. The map is zipped. Yes, leave it that way. Do not unzip the map in any way, shape, or form. Just drop that into your mod folder and off you go. Yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit of a patience thing. If you're waiting on things to get her back around to you, but it's all good. It's fun trying to set things up for someone else's strength, play towards someone else's abilities, and basically you're working toward a common goal of, you know, defeating thy enemy. It's always important to share your bounty, because something that you get that you might not be that interested in using or can't use because of your classification or whatever, someone else in your party may be very well able to use that. And of course, if it betters the party, then it betters you. All right, I think once we get this done, the rolling should be done. Well, I guess technically we should roll this field too, huh? Then we'll fast forward to tomorrow. I'm not going to mess with mowing that field right now. We'll mow all the grass at once. You mean like put them in the map? I would guess file size. I mean, this map is 1.3 gigs right now. And if he puts all of his stuff in there, it's going to make it even more. And on most multiplayer servers, not all multiplayer servers, but on several multiplayer server hosts, they only give you 3 gigs or 4 gigs of mod space. So if you have a map that takes up a whole lot of space, that really eats up your mod space. And many multiplayer dedicated server hosts don't give you an FTP upload. And the multiplayer server uploader that typically comes with a dedicated server will only let you upload a file that's like 1.4 gigs. So if you have a map that's more than 1.4 gigs, then you've just ostracized a whole series of potential multiplayer players because they can't upload it to the server because it's too big. So that's where hosts like Pocket Host, which is a dedicated provider that we're affiliated with, or GPortal, we used to be affiliated with them as well. They provide FTP uploads so that you can use a FTP application to upload your files directly to the server share, bypassing the FarmSim web uploader, which then means that you don't have to worry about file size. And that's what we did in 22 when we were doing map testing for Nebraska lands, when that map was a couple of gigs in size all by itself before it had gone through the weight loss program of optimization. Is we had to upload via FTP in order to be able to get it up there on the server. No, you don't have to find more mods to use. Everything is needed is included in the map. It's just Stevie does a whole bunch of base game edits to add things like colorization. Sometimes he increases the speed of working speed of things, increase the capacity. It's all going to be published on his Google Drive. But the map is a self-sustained thing. So the only way to get his map or mod packs is to go to his Facebook, or I would assume he puts the videos out on YouTube about them. The map video that Farmer G linked earlier would have had a link to the YouTube video where he released the map. I avoid Facebook because I think it is a plague to humanity. So I would not be able to tell you how to find his Facebook. I assume if you use Facebook, then you know how to use it. If you don't use Facebook, then you don't really care. See, I get a kick out of that, Mr. Dio. Because you like to play on 4X maps, right? And you don't like the speed, the base game stuff, probably because it's too slow. So you want to speed things up. So you play on a map that's bigger, and you want to speed things up, so you might as well just play on a standard size map. In the end, it's all the same. he stopped putting... Okay, so he's driving... He's pushing people to his YouTube to watch the video, to then get the download link in the description. Alright, I get you. Welcome, David, and goodbye. Hope your Thursday's going well. Always have to pause and think, what day is it, and then what day's tomorrow. OBS is a very powerful application. It's not the most intuitive, I will give you that. But once you get things set up, it's pretty straightforward. Alrighty. We're done, son, with that task. Put this puppy in the shed and call it a day. But today's yesterday, tomorrow. Is it not? Oh, have a question. Do old servers shut down when the new game releases in case? So that would be up to your host as to if they are going to continue to maintain FS22 servers. I would say typically a server host would maintain servers for the past version because it's not an expense. It's no expense to them. And if you're paying for an FS22 server, even if FS25 is out, that's revenue in their pocket. Why would they want to basically cut you off and say, no server for you? In fact, I know on GPortal, you can pick up an FS19 server if you wanted. There's people playing FS19 still because they don't want to. They don't see the need to upgrade to 22, and they definitely don't see the need to upgrade to 25. All right, we need to. We can fertilize this field after we're done rolling it. Alright, let's see here. We got slurry. What can I do with slurry over here at this production? Slurry. Slurry and water makes liquid fertilizer. Oh, okay. We could do that. And then liquid fertilizer and grain makes seed. Alright, we can do that. It's totally agreeable. Seasons from 19 is definitely better, in my opinion, than the Giants implementation in 22 and 25. let's get some river water. Well, I don't want to tip this thing too far down the water. We won't be able to get it out. And by then, Mr. D.O., it's probably going to be on sale somewhere, right? Now we do have the year 1 season pass, and we do have the first DLC dropping for Farming Simulator 25. I'm looking for that now. That's not the video I wanted. Come on. Oh. You can do it. Alright, there it is. Oh, I got on my grass field. Alright, which one of this? No. Is this the one? Yeah, the blue one. Alright, well, this is dropping. So, we have our year 1 season pass that you could have bought Farm Sim 25 with the year 1 season pass, or you could buy the season pass separate. If it does interest you, I do have a link down in the description, but that's not why we're bringing this up. Innovative Machinery is the first DLC in the first quarter of 2025. Guess what, folks? It's Q1 of 2025. That DLC could drop any day now. No, it won't. I expect to see that DLC toward the end of February or early March. But Innovative Machinery, what could that be? I will say the hints in 22 and what they ended up turning out to be were pretty interesting, to say the least. Alrighty. Oh. Let's get this thing started. Enable. What? Activate. Activate! I don't do auto drive. Okay. Okay. Fertilize time. Lime, whoa. I didn't know this thing had lime in it. That's fine, we'll just grab this one. Oh, break. Oh shoot, we could have drawn slurry out of our Piggly Wigglies too. Well, while we wait. It would be nice if we had real reflections. Just saying. I mean, we have reflections on paint, but we don't have reflections on this. Just finished upgrading. Oh, well, that's a pretty big step up. Alright. Yeah, moo cows. Yeah. You got lots of milk. We should haul that milk over to the dairy. I mean, it depends on what you use the machine for. Oh, wait, I read all that wrong. I'd rather that you put a Ryzen 3700 in there. Not that big of a CPU upgrade. Just a couple more cores, I guess. But yeah, the RAM and the GPU will definitely go for a while. I mean, if you need a second machine, I got some parts I need to offload. I've just been a little lazy and not posted them up on. I'm probably gonna put them on Jawa. I've heard decent things about that, and I don't want to feel like dealing with eBay. I don't do eBay stuff, so I would have, right? I'd be a brand new seller there. No one wants to buy anything from a brand new seller, any rate. Yeah, I get that. I took and got some small form factor, well, mini PC form factors from work that were some Dell mini PCs, right? They're the size of a book, of a hardback book, basically, or smaller. And I think they had like a 6th gen CPU in them, but the BIOS would support up to an 8th gen CPU. So I picked up off of, I think, Amazon or maybe AliExpress some 8th gen CPU, and they take notebook memory. So I slapped 32 gigs of RAM in them, and I set up a small VM cluster at the house with them to host some applications and things. I have a AMD 3900X that's just sitting in a box. That CPU came with a stock cooler that runs pretty fine. I've got 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM for that system. I have my old main system in its entirety minus the GPU. So I've got two 650 watt power. No, I have one 650 watt power supply just sitting around. I've got a 3900X and a 5900X just sitting around right now. I've got two sets of RAM, DDR4 RAM, I think. I've got one motherboard that'll support AM4. So it'll support up to, well, the 5000 series. I've got two cases. One is a really old, big Cooler Master case. The other one is a Fractal Mesh, or Mesh 2, I think. I have a 1070 Ti. I have a 7700K, Intel 7700K, with 16 gigs of RAM, I think, for that one. Maybe. Yeah, I gotta basically go through it all. Now, the Intel motherboard is a little sketch. It may just need a CMOS battery. It doesn't like to boot if it's been off for a while. So I think it just needs a CMOS battery to make it happy again. All right, that's that job done. Would you stop? So let's fertilize this real fast, and then we'll fast forward. Then we'll probably weed these fields. Or I'll weed these fields later. Because we are getting close. Getting close to shutting her down for the night. Whoa! You're not giving my fert. Alright, fine then. We'll fertilize after we sleep. If you want to be like that. Carlston, thank you for the sub. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, you know what? Quit staring at me, Walter. Oh, you freaked me out, dude. Oh, we're slowly getting our eggs. That's okay. We don't have a lot of animals. We're letting them reproduce up on their own. Weed, 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 and weed. And then as far as FERT state, you're fully done. Done, 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 done. All right. And our grass, ready to harvest is, yeah, it's ready to harvest. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I will finish fertilizing this. We'll probably weed our taters. We'll bring it back, and we'll probably weed these 3 fields as we close out for the night. Again, tomorrow night we're not streaming, but I guess I will be putting a video out related to if you have experienced the grass bug, where you mow and roll and the grass no longer grows, then here's how you can get your grass back to a functional state without plowing it up and doing that all effort. And like I said, I've already submitted that bug report. I know other people have probably submitted the bug report as well, but maybe just with enough bug reports submitted and enough information given, it'll help them figure out how to finally resolve the issue. Because no unreported bug ever gets fixed. Be a part of the solution. Report the bugs you find. Don't be a part of the problem and just complain about the bugs that never get fixed that no one's ever bothered to report to. Because we have this at work. Folks will finally get to the point of such frustration that they call into the help desk in almost in anger. When are you people gonna fix this? And we say, we didn't know it was broke. So thanks for letting us know. We'll look into it. I basically say that if you haven't told someone something, then don't assume someone else has told them that either. Oh my gosh, now we have medium weeds. And this weeder won't do anything about them. Chimney flippin' hell. How you report a bug, go to feedback.giants go to that website, create an account, and fill in an issue. Jabbo, what's up, sir? What is up? So I bought the kid's PAX pass. I put in for a creator pass. I look forward to meeting back up with you in February. In May. I got National Farm Machine Show on my mind. That's in February. 5 weeks away, we're going to be going to Louisville, Kentucky for a week and having a blast looking at all the awesome 2025 farm machinery that is going to be on display. Hoping to meet up with folks. If you can make it to Louisville, I know it's a long drive, long trip for some folks. All right. I'll send it to you. Oh my gosh, you can be my mic man. I do videos every year covering the event. Well, at least I've done videos for the last 2 years covering the event. And the first year I really didn't talk. I just kind of did video. And I had a little intro, an outro. The second year I did a little bit of talking with a mic, but that's about it. I've got a mic handle, a Bob Barker mic handle. Love to put someone in front of the camera. Cover the event like a news reporter. It's free. It's a free event. I mean, you could apply for a press pass. I looked at that a little bit, but I don't know what it would necessarily get me. Or what I would benefit from it on. Oh, shoot. Wrong turn, that's fine. So the event's no cost. All you gotta do is pay for parking and lodging. Hundreds, as in multiple six figures of people visit that place over the course of 5 days. Hundreds of thousands of people walk the floor in 5 days. Like PAX. You think PAX is busy? No. PAX is nothing compared to the number of people that walk through that floor. It is incredible. I will not be on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing some recording and chilling out. A Little Big Town Band. We've changed our streaming schedule from Tuesday, Thursday to Monday, Wednesday now. It mostly lines up with my kids' evening schedule better. He does an event on Tuesdays and Thursdays and needs a driver. So me needing to be back here by 8 p.m. to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays wasn't necessarily the best. So now we'll stream Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'll be free to pick him up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Is there going to be more map for FS20? Oh yeah, it's going to be hundreds of maps for FS25. Just give it a little time. Oops. Alright, what? Oh, shoot. Control and Alt. That's it. There we go. Why waste all this spray when we only have a little bit to get? Well, I mean, they're a month behind. At least. Any map submitted today probably isn't going to show up until February. That's part of the problem. Now, I don't scour the internet for maps, though. If there's maps out there, people need to tell me about them, and we need to make sure that we're linking to respectable places that map authors have posted maps to. But I've done a couple where we knew definitely this is where the map author updated the map or uploaded the map to. I never went to any other real con, but yeah, the venue in Louisville is maybe 1 million square feet under roof, under a continuous roof, and it is packed. Like the best time to do any recording is before probably 11 a.m. and maybe after 3 p.m. But honestly, by that point in time, I'm usually out of there. David's coming over from Australia. David and his wife are going to be touring the country. She's got family in the great cheese capital of Wisconsin, and as such, they're going to be at the event. So yeah, we're going to do some tractor pulls. I'm going to watch some tractor pulls this year. Alright, with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and sign out for the night. I want to thank you all for coming out and watching. We had a great crowd last night for our New Year's Eve live stream. Another good crowd tonight. Again, we're going to be recording tomorrow, not live streaming. Our next Farm Sim live stream will be next Monday. We will be over on our second channel, FK's Funhouse Explanation. FK Funhouse in chat to get a link to that. On Friday, where we're going to be doing some Wreckfest. And then Saturday, we're going to be doing multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3. And Sunday on the second channel, we're going to be streaming American Truck Simulator Convoys in multiplayer. And then again, we'll be back Monday in Farm Sim. If Giants drops any sort of maps, they will always take priority. But other than that, until next time, happy farming.